For over a decade, he was far more than just a racing driver. Lewis Hamilton built a global legacy that transcended the boundaries of the racetrack, positioning himself as Formula One's ultimate moral compass by fearlessly championing human rights, racial justice, and geopolitical activism. He was the athlete who refused to be silent, leveraging his multi-million-dollar platform to challenge some of the most powerful institutions on the planet. When you think of Lewis, you don't just think of his 7 world championships or the fact that he's driving for Ferrari in 2026. You think of a guy who stood up to billion-dollar sports institutions, wore protest helmets in countries with horrific human rights records, and spoke up when every other driver on the grid stayed completely silent to protect their sponsorships. He built his entire modern brand on absolute, uncompromising integrity. But right now, that exact identity is facing its absolute biggest ideological test yet, and the F1 community is completely divided. His high-profile romance with Kim Kardashian doesn't just bring Hollywood reality television drama to the traditional Formula One paddock. It aligns him directly with the ultimate symbol of hyper-capitalism, media manipulation, and corporate neutrality. The F1 internet is genuinely melting down over this relationship right now. Fans are losing their minds because this isn't just a standard celebrity couple crossing paths at a party. This is a massive, high-speed ideological collision. You are taking a global humanitarian icon who talks about sustainability and systemic change, and you are pairing him with a woman who built a multi-billion-dollar shapewear empire on the exact opposite philosophy, staying completely silent on controversial issues so that she never alienates a single potential customer. People are openly asking if his hard-earned moral credibility can actually survive the weight of the Kardashian publicity machine. The online backlash has been swift and severe, forcing the global audience to question if the infamous Kardashian Effect is actively dismantling his moral authority, or if it is simply humanizing an elite athlete who has spent his entire life under a microscope. Today, we are opening up an in-depth investigation into the massive culture clash, the financial implications, and whether Kim Kardashian just ruined Lewis Hamilton's legendary legacy. Because this isn't just another casual storyline for a reality television show or a quick PR stunt for the cameras. This is a profound battle over the soul and meaning of an icon's lifelong legacy. Let's break down exactly what is happening behind the closed doors of the paddock. Before we dive into the deep historical context of Act 1, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a like if you enjoy these exhaustive pop culture breakdowns. It heavily helps our channel with the algorithm so we can keep producing these long-form scripts for you every week. Let's get right into the data. To truly understand why this romance has sparked such intense anger from the public, you have to first understand the unique historical weight that the name Lewis Hamilton carries. In a motorsport historic for its institutional silence, conservative ideals, and corporate detachment, Hamilton chose a path of deep friction. We have to remember that Formula One has historically been a playground for old European money, massive oil conglomerates, and drivers who were trained from childhood to keep their mouths completely shut so they don't upset the billionaires funding the teams. But Lewis completely shattered that entire corporate culture. When he entered the sport, he didn't just win races. He actively forced the sport to look at its own lack of diversity. He put his career and his reputation on the line to talk about things that made the higher-ups incredibly uncomfortable. His modern brand was built entirely on pushing boundaries, challenging the governing bodies of motorsport, launching initiatives like Mission 44 to fund underrepresented youth, and using his podium speeches to spotlight global injustices. He became a symbol of resistance within a billionaire's playground. This guy was literally taking a stand when the FIA tried to pass rules banning drivers from making political statements or wearing unapproved clothing on the podium. He didn't care about the fines or the political pushback from the sports executives. He wore the shirts anyway. He painted his helmets anyway. And he used his press conferences to force journalists to write about systemic issues. He built a fan base of millions of people who respected him because his core principles could not be bought by any amount of prize money or corporate sponsorship. He wasn't just a fast driver. He was a legitimate cultural activist. But that specific moral authority becomes an incredibly heavy burden to carry when an individual willingly enters a digital ecosystem built entirely on corporate appeasement, aesthetic perfection, and the relentless pursuit of hyper-capitalism. And that is the exact root of the entire controversy. You cannot easily market yourself as the world's most outspoken, anti-establishment moral compass on Sunday afternoon, and then spend the rest of your week lounging on multi-million-dollar luxury yachts with the undisputed queen of corporate neutrality. Kim Kardashian's entire business philosophy relies on never taking a definitive stance on anything controversial so that her brands can appeal to every single demographic on Earth. It is a brilliant capitalist machine, but it completely contradicts the rebellious, change-making identity that Lewis spent 15 years building at the highest level of sports. The Kardashian empire does not operate on the currency of social change or political reform. It operates on the absolute monetization of attention. For 2 decades, their family business model has relied on a calculated strategy of public controversy combined with absolute corporate neutrality. Let's look at the actual business strategy here, because Kim is undeniably a genius at what she does. Her multi-billion-dollar empire, especially Skims, is built on a foundation of universal consumption. If Kim Kardashian suddenly starts taking firm, polarizing stances on complex geopolitical issues or human rights crises, she risks alienating massive chunks of her consumer base. To protect her bottom line, she has to remain completely neutral, completely safe, and completely detached from the harsh realities of the world. Her brand is an escape into hyper-luxury and consumerism. This creates a profound ideological paradox for Lewis Hamilton. The core of his activism is centered on holding systemic power accountable, yet his personal alignment now places him at the center of Hollywood's most powerful consumerist family. This is exactly why the hardcore F1 fans are feeling so betrayed right now. They look at Lewis, who has spent years preaching about veganism, reducing your carbon footprint, and the ethical responsibilities of global citizens. And then they see him hard-launching a romance with a woman who is literally famous for flying a custom private jet for incredibly short trips. The math just does not work out for the audience. The moment you align your life with that level of extreme, unchecked capitalist excess, it becomes almost impossible for the public to take your lectures on ethics and sustainability seriously. The internet is calling out the glaring hypocrisy, and it's doing real damage to his credibility. The real-world collision of these two massive brands reached a tipping point during the 2026 racing season, when Kim Kardashian stepped into the high-stakes environment of the Ferrari garage. The ideological debate transformed into a literal cultural invasion of the paddock. The paddock insiders are already leaking stories left and right about how chaotic the energy has become behind the scenes. Reports have surfaced claiming that some of the traditional F1 community find Kim's sudden, massive presence incredibly fake and disruptive. But the real structural damage is happening online in the court of public opinion. When Lewis secured a massive second-place finish in Monaco and publicly thanked Kim for her daily support, the hardcore fans didn't see a sweet, romantic moment. They saw the corporate washing of their racing hero. They felt like Lewis was slowly being turned into another accessory for the Kardashian reality television content farm. To his original fan base, the relationship looks less like a genuine romance and more like a transactional surrender, suggesting that the anti-establishment rebel has finally been absorbed by the very system he used to protest against. Think about how the optics play out long-term. The next time Lewis Hamilton tries to speak out against a multi-billion-dollar corporation or a government's human rights violations, the opposition doesn't even have to argue with his points. All they have to do is drop a picture of him sitting front row at a Skims fashion launch or posing at a royal gala on a luxury yacht with the Kardashians. The absolute edge that made his activism so powerful is being quietly sanded down by the ultimate public relations machine. It sanitizes his rebellion and turns him into a safe, mainstream celebrity boyfriend. Throughout sports history, the public has closely analyzed the pattern of elite athletes entering the Kardashian orbit and leaving with compromised public images. But Lewis Hamilton represents a completely unique narrative danger for their publicity machine. We are all used to seeing the standard reality show narrative arc, where an athlete enters the family circle and gets turned into a reality TV villain or ends up struggling with their performance on the court. But Lewis is entirely different. He is already 41 years old, his athletic legacy is fully secure, and he is statistically one of the greatest drivers to ever touch a steering wheel. The Kardashian machine isn't going to ruin his racing stats or take away his 7 world titles. The real danger here is that it completely neutralizes the authority of his voice. It changes the historical narrative from the activist who changed the face of motorsport to the celebrity who retired into the Hollywood elite. The ultimate threat to his legacy is not physical failure on the track, but the quiet erosion of his cultural impact. When a genuine revolutionary is entirely absorbed by a commercial empire, the message loses its radical power. That is the exact trade-off that is happening right now. The Kardashian PR machine excels at taking raw, controversial, or complex public figures and smoothing out all their sharp edges to make them highly profitable and digestible for the masses. But when you smooth out the sharp edges of an activist, you destroy the very thing that made them effective in the first place. Safe activism isn't activism at all. It's just corporate branding. And fans are terrified that Lewis is trading his status as a historical icon of change just to become another face in the Hollywood social elite. Yet, a powerful and deeply human counter-argument persists. Is it ethically fair for the public to demand that an athlete remain a flawless political monument at all times? Or does this relationship simply humanize a man who has carried immense systemic pressure for his entire adult life? Let's take a step back and look at the human being behind the helmet for a second. This man has spent his entire life breaking down racial barriers in a deeply conservative, hostile environment. He has carried the immense weight of representing entire communities, dealing with intense media scrutiny, and fighting systemic battles entirely on his own shoulders for nearly 20 years. Maybe he is just fundamentally exhausted from carrying the weight of the world. If he wants to spend his final years in the sport dating a beautiful billionaire, enjoying his wealth, and surfing in California without having to save society every single weekend, who are we to tell him he can't? He is a human being who has earned his happiness, not a political prop for our expectations. His defenders firmly argue that an icon's personal happiness should never be weaponized against a historic legacy that is already permanently carved into the stone of sports history. At the end of the day, his historic achievements cannot be rewritten by a tabloid headline. The millions of dollars he has poured into charitable foundations, the diversity programs he actively launched, and the structural changes he physically forced Formula One to implement are real historical facts. None of that vanishes just because he is dating Kim Kardashian in 2026. But we also know that the internet doesn't judge people based on their past resumes. It judges them based on their current actions. And right now, the sudden shift from hardcore activist to a sanitized corporate influencer is a pill that a lot of his original followers are simply refusing to swallow. Lewis Hamilton's legacy as an unmatched racing driver will remain completely untouchable for generations to come. But his legacy as Formula One's uncompromising moral compass is now locked in a high-speed corporate battle with the world's most powerful publicity machine. Ultimately, Kim Kardashian didn't take away his trophies, his speed, or his driving talent, but she might have just permanently altered the power of his voice. Years from now, when historians look back at the incredible boundary-breaking career of Lewis Hamilton, will they remember the fierce rebel who forced a global sport to evolve? Or will they remember the guy who got quietly absorbed into the celebrity universe? Only Lewis has the power to answer that question with his actions going forward. Thank you all so much for watching this comprehensive investigation. If you appreciate these deep dives and want to support the channel so we can keep crafting these scripts, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel right now. Before you click away, I want to hear your exact perspectives down in the comments section below, because this culture clash is incredibly wild. Do you think dating Kim Kardashian completely destroys Lewis Hamilton's credibility as a humanitarian activist? Or is the internet completely overreacting to an elite athlete just trying to live his private life in his 40s? Drop your thoughts below. I'm going to be going through the comments and replying to as many of you as I can. Stay safe, and I will see you all in the next video.